like to call to order the regular council meeting of December 10th, 2018. Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Here.
Consul Magna.
Here.
Dixon.
Here.
Gibbons. Hannon. Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Mowry.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present. We have 8 members present. At this time, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, excuse me, we have 7 members present. My counting's not very good tonight. Okay, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. We have 2 announcements. Executive session of council was conducted on November 27, 2018 for personnel matters. And tonight, before we came out, December 10, 2018, for legal issues and property discussions. Okay, at this time, I would like to turn to the police chief's report and Chief O'Connor.
Mr. Mayor, Council, hi everybody, Chief here. With the holidays approaching, it is time for our department to join in the annual Presents from Police for the kids at Children's Hospital. So what we are asking you to do, there is a box in front of our dispatch center down on the lower level of the municipal building. If you come in the police entrance, and you put a present in that box for the kids at Children's Hospital up until the 19th of December. That's the last day to do that. And then they're going to be collected, and we will send officers with all the presents we have collected from the fine people of Bethel Park, and we'll join in with officers from departments around the county, and they convoy out to Children's, and they take these presents in and give them to the kids. So it's a very worthy goal indeed. So we hope that you fill the box up many times. We've already taken some out and put them in the bags and everything, and we'll get them out there. So that's our big, I guess, contribution at the holidays as we join in this effort, and we're hoping that you'll join us too. It's a very worthy effort indeed. Then our next Crime Watch meeting will be Monday, and it's January the 7th, 7 p.m. in a community center. So we look forward to seeing you there, and we will let you know about everyone who's going to jail in Bethel Park. And finally, with Christmas and New Year's approaching, we wish everyone has a very safe holiday season. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions? Hearing none, thank
Chief,
you.
those gifts, do they have to be wrapped or unwrapped?
They do not. We just
Okay.
put them in the box and they take them out.
Okay.
It's easier for the kids, and then they get to select what they want.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, the fire chief's report. We don't have one this evening. They have their elections tonight. I'll turn to Mayor Allen.
Good evening. I just have a few items tonight. The first one is our Bethel Park annual holiday lighting and decorating, and that we will judge on December 18th to the 31st. We have 9 wards to be judged. I think we have judges right now in 6 or 7. So if anyone's interested in judging, they can call Janet Davin at 412-831-6800, extension 211. Or if you elect not to be a judge, you can send a nominee into the municipal building, and we will take that into consideration. Second thing I have tonight is, after 5 years of doing making Bethel Park a better place to live, we have one tonight that goes right to the top. On Thanksgiving, Mom and Pa's Country Kitchen up on South Park Road donated turkey dinners for everyone that needed a place to go. So I would like to bring up Steve and Erica Dethorn and present them with a certificate and have them say a few words. Yeah, I think it's great what you did, but, so the certificate of recognition presented to Stephen and Erica Dethorne for your dedication to the Bethel Park community, awarded this 10th day of December 2018, and it's signed by me, so thank you very much.
Well, we opened the diner to people who either could not afford their own Thanksgiving or were alone and had nobody to eat with. And we were blessed with over 60 volunteers, and they would sit with people who didn't have anyone to sit with and eat with them, shared laughs and some tears, and it was a very moving day for all of us. We got a lot out of it, and we probably got more out of that than they did receiving it. So it was a blessing, and we're going to plan on doing it next year. So thank you, Jack, very much.
Thank you very much. I'll be there next year. At this time, I'd like to call up or bring up Andy Amrine and Dan Duff from the Community Foundation for a presentation, and this is in conjunction with the Fantastic Four golf outing. I know you don't like it.
No, that's right, Dan. Okay, in Bethel Park, we have quite a few nonprofits, charitable organizations, and I have the privilege of working with them, just about all of them. And we decided to pick 4 of our groups. We picked the Bethel Park Community Foundation, the Bethel Park Education Foundation, the Bethel Park Public Library, and Christine would have joined us, but she's off sick tonight from the library, and the Bethel Park Historical Society. And we came up with this cute name, the Bethel Park Fantastic Four Charities. And we pulled the resources of these 4 organizations, and we had our first big event. We had a golf outing. It was rained out the first day. We had it as a rain date, and it was on October 1st. And with that, we raised just shy of $16,000 at a golf outing. And we take those money made from those, and it was split 4 ways between the 4 groups, between the Historical Society, the Community Foundation, the Education Foundation, and the library. And we'll be having a couple more events coming up in 2019 under the heading the Bethel Park Fantastic Four Charities. And it's just an idea we came up with to pull the resources, because not any one of these organizations were large enough to pull off. Golf outings are difficult. They take a lot of work and so forth. And a couple of the other events that we have coming up in the future are going to be the same type of thing. So we're pulling our resources, and with the help of Tim and Judge Ron Arnone and the foundation, and with Jack and the rest of the groups of Bethel Park, it's just nice to be able to raise sums of money like this and just split it up evenly and give it back to the nonprofits who are giving it back to our amazing community in Bethel Park. So we were just sharing with you what we did in the golf outing. We will have round 2 coming up next year on, July 29th is when the next event will be for another golf outing. So we just thought we'd share it with everyone tonight, what we were able to accomplish. So thank you. Thanks.
I just want to say a few words. Andy thought it was challenging setting up the event. It was more challenging playing my foursome. I just really do want to thank the Community Foundation for everything they do and the support over the years from the municipal side via the Community Center, a number of different projects, and the Bethel Park Historical Society, which they have also funded 1 room, and we're in the process of renovating it. It's just a little more challenging than we thought, so it's going to take a little bit more time. But on behalf of council and the community, we do want to thank you for everything you do.
Okay, thanks. One quick question, because just standing here looking at your check, I don't think you can divide 23 cents by 4. So, okay, he gets the extra. Okay, at this time, I'd like to bring up our county council person, right in the front. And she has a presentation that she would like to make this evening.
Nice to see you. Oh, yeah, you can help me. On June 20th, parts of Bethel Park suffered a devastating flood. The municipality declared a state of emergency, and municipal staff and elected officials responded in a positive and outstanding way to meet the needs of the residents. But the needs were great and urgent. And that's when it happened, something beautiful. Neighbors started helping neighbors. But the needs, the volunteers needed coordinated and matched with the needs of the residents who needed help. And that's when the Blackhawk Family Relief Fund and the Citizens of Bethel Park Facebook group stepped up and helped. So could the members of both organizations please come forward? So it's my great honor tonight to honor the people that are here. Now, there are some people that couldn't be here tonight. For instance, Lauren Bradley lives in London, England, but she used her great communication skills to coordinate the Facebook to help raise funds, to also to coordinate the needs with the volunteers. And she devoted her time and resources to help the community, the members of the Bethel Park. And then there were other people that helped her in her efforts. That's Courtney Smith and Sydney Litzenberger. So I have an award for everyone. Here, you want to give me? I'm going to read Lauren's, and I'm going to mail it to her parents. It's a Certificate of Achievement awarded to Lauren Bradley, the Citizens of Bethel Park Facebook group, the founder and administrator. This certificate is presented to Lauren Bradley, founder and administrator for the Citizens of Bethel Park Facebook group, in recognition of her actions following the June 20th flooding at Bethel Park. She currently resides in London, England. Ms. Bradley is a Bethel Park native and remains dedicated to the Bethel Park community. As the administrator for the Citizens of Bethel Park Facebook group, Ms. Bradley used her exceptional communication and organizational skills to coordinate volunteers, raise donations, and support after the flood. This council applauds Lauren Bradley for her outstanding dedication and personal sacrifice to serve her community. She truly serves as an inspiration to this council and the citizens of Allegheny County. Congratulations to Lauren, far away in London. Next, I'd like to recognize Becky Luzier. Allegheny County, the Office of County Councils, the Certificate of Achievement awarded to Becky Luzier, Black Hawk Family Relief Fund President. This certificate is presented to Becky Luzier, President of the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund and the Bethel Park Girls Lacrosse coach, in recognition of her leadership abilities and her superior organizational skills that resulted in the foundation of the board of directors that ultimately developed the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund. This council commends Ms. Luzier for her actions following the June 20th, 2018 flooding in Bethel Park. As the president of the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund, Ms. Luzier mobilized the humanitarian relief and collected donations to benefit the Bethel Park families affected by the catastrophic flooding. The fund oversaw the formation of cleanup teams and collection and distribution of cleaning supplies, distribution of immediate aid in the form of gift cards, coordination of meal and laundry services, and the collection of over $55,000 in donations from the community. The representatives from the fund also met regularly with members of Bethel Park municipal leadership and first responders to coordinate assistance. This council applauds Becky Luzier for her outstanding dedication and personal sacrifice to serve her community. She truly serves as an inspiration to this council and the citizens of Allegheny County. Oh, yeah, the next one. Okay, good. All right. All right, then I just wanted, are you Lynn? Oh, yeah, Lynn Chavez. Okay, Black Hawk Family Refund at Large Representative. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, you're Sydney. All right. I have lots of phone calls with Sydney. So, hi, Sydney Elizabeth. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much for serving on the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund as treasurer and on the Citizens of Bethel Park Facebook group as moderator. Thank you very much. And you're Courtney Smith. Nice to meet you. Courtney, thank you for serving on the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund as secretary and as Citizens of Bethel Park Facebook group and moderator. Thank you very much. Chris Van Dyke. Oh, I know you, Chris. Hi. Thank you very much. This award is for Chris Van Dyke, Black Hawk Family Relief Fund at Large Representative. Thank you very much. And I just want to say, I wanted to recognize the people that aren't here real quick to read off their names. They weren't able to make it. Teresa Zellner, Morgan Moron, Tom Gavitt, and Bob Smith. And I just want to say one other thing. You know, you gave people hope. It was devastating. You're overwhelmed. You've lost so much. And when someone comes beside you and says, I care, I'll help you, it brings healing. So thank you so much. And again, thank you on behalf of Allegheny County Council. Thank you. There's one more. There it is. And there's one more volunteer that I came here to recognize tonight. And that is the President of Council, Tim Mowry. You come forward, please, Mr. Mowry. Now you'll notice that a hero is someone who sees a need and steps forward to meet it. They're not there for the limelight, as all these volunteers are for. They did it to help their neighbors. They're humble and they're great servants, and that description is also for Council Member Tim Mowry. Let's see if I can read this without crying. I'm going to give it my best shot. Whereas Bethel Park Council President Tim Mowry has made significant contributions to improve the lives of Bethel Park residents and provide outstanding services on multiple levels, such as civic, recreation, land use, development, and housing and zoning. Recently, his concern for the well-being of the citizens of Bethel Park was exemplified in his compassionate, extraordinary response to the devastating flooding that occurred on June 20th, 2018. Whereas sworn into office as council member on January 2nd, 1996, and appointed to the position of council president only after 2 years, Mr. Mowry has served a total of 22 years at Bethel Park Council. His long tenure on council reflects his ability to find common ground. Come on, you're humble, you stay humble. Find common ground for all parties and facilitate teamwork to find solutions for all. Mr. Mowry's ability to motivate and organize the residents of Bethel Park has had a lasting effect on the community and surrounding areas. Whereas recognizing a need to have a strong community base, Mr. Mowry believes in an open door policy with the residents of Bethel Park. He strives to know the residents' concerns and needs are met, and as a result, he regularly holds public hearings and meetings to address and work through issues. And whereas, as a modest servant to the residents of Bethel Park, Mr. Mowry has constantly broken barriers to help enrich the lives of those in the community. Throughout his time on council, Mr. Mowry has served a wider community in a number of capacities by working with financial advisors to refinance bonds, offering an alternative approach to fund projects without raising taxes and cutting the budget, conducted a fundraiser campaigns with the American Legion to establish the Bethel Park Veterans Memorial, which honors more than 3,600 Bethel Park veterans and includes 42 residents who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Establishing the Veterans Memorial Fund, working with the Port Authority to preserve T-stops throughout Bethel Park, raising over $1 million for the School Arts / Bethel Park Historical Society, working with the Bethel Park School District and County Executive to install lights on all our community fields, organizing the National Day Out on August 2016, acquiring a $600,000 grant to remediate flooding from Logan Creek, and spearheading a movement placing a ballot referendum for the citizens of Bethel Park to establish a permanent, substantial funding for Bethel Park fire stations. Whereas, in addition to his noble achievements and contributions as council president, Mr. Mowry has volunteered to serve on numerous boards, including but not limited to the Bethel Park Community Foundation, the Bethel Park Historical Society, the Allegheny County Accountability, Conduct, and Ethics Commission, the Pennsylvania Dairy Leadership Council, that one really surprised me, and the Bethel Park Republican Committee, the Economic Development South Board, and the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority Board of Directors. I just didn't see dairy in your life. Whereas, in response to the devastating flooding and occurred on June 20th, Mr. Mowry worked closely with the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department, the Black Hawk Fund, and the Citizens of Bethel Park Face Group to coordinate help for those affected by the flood. Whereas, responding to the urgent needs of the Bethel Park residents who were hit hard by the flooding, Mr. Mowry personally coordinated the delivery and distribution of hundreds of cleaning supply kits donated by the Salvation Army to those in need throughout the community. Mr. Mowry also went door to door distributing essential kits to help residents remove bacteria and prevent mold growth in their homes. Whereas, several days after the flood, Mr. Mowry realized that there was an overwhelming need to assist residents in removing damaged and contaminated furniture, carpet, and drywall. Mr. Mowry organized a group of volunteers to visit affected residents and remove damaged items. He worked closely with the municipality to place dumpsters in key locations, and he used his own personal vehicle to help residents relocate damaged items from their curbside to the dumpsters. Whereas, as the president of the Bethel Park Historical Society, Mr. Mowry opened the doors of Bethel Park Schoolhouse and Art Center to the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief Group, an organization that traveled from South Carolina to assist with mold remediation and bring hope and healing to those in need. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Allegheny County Council Member Sue Means, by hereby honor Bethel Park Council President Tim Mowry for 22 years of dedication to the residents of Bethel Park. And on behalf of Allegheny County Council, I recognize him for his hard work and dedication serving the residents of Bethel Park and his distinguished actions displayed following the June 20th flooding deserve all the accolades of our citizenry. Congratulations.
I have to tell one quick story. Shortly after the event on June 20th, I got a phone call from somebody that said, "You're going to be sorry you gave me your number." I won't say who that was, Sid, but I think it turned out to be the other way around. But, really, what makes Bethel Park so special are people like all you, a number of volunteers that have come out to help. Some people had their homes damaged, they had water, they were still willing to come out and help other members of the community. And it's not just for a day or two, it was for weeks. And hopefully Becky's going to talk a little bit about what the Black Hawk Family Relief Fund has done in addition to the flooding, and it's really brought the community together. And you guys are really what makes Bethel Park so special, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We did a lot of the behind the scenes and a lot of the coordination, but there are countless other volunteers that were really critical to the efforts that we organized. Without the manpower, we would have just been organizers who had ideas of what people might need, but without the rest of the community coming out and actually rolling their sleeves up, we would not have accomplished nearly as much as we did. Like Mr. Mowry said, we raised and immediately distributed just shy of $50,000 right after the flooding. And then since then, we've distributed an additional $11,000 in holiday support for families, and that went to both families that were most critically affected by the flooding, as well as partnering with other organizations in our Bethel Park community that are helped us target some other families that could use some holiday support. We've worked with the Adopt a Family organization, we've worked with the public school system and their social workers and nurses to help identify families, and then we're also going, our last push for our holiday support is going to be to make a donation to the police department for their ongoing campaign with their gifts they're going to be taking to the Children's Hospital. So we just thank everyone. We're so appreciative of the support we got from our community, and we hope to continue to help, reach out and help our neighbors for years to come. And thank you, Mrs. Means, for the recognition.
Thank you, Sue. Well, that was a short mayor's report tonight. Sorry, but before I go, I'd just like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and have a happy holiday season. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'd like to go to the municipal manager's report. Mr. Arbaugh.
Good evening, Sean Arbaugh, Municipal Manager. I just want to talk a little trash here this evening about the new contract that's coming up. So just quickly, wanted to remind everybody that beginning January 1st, Waste Management will be our new trash hauler and recycle provider. Luckily, they are going to try to keep the routes exactly the same as they are now, so most likely your day won't change. They are going to be sending out some postcards this week, and then again the following week with that information. Recycling may change which week you recycle, but they are going to put that information out. One big thing that's going to change on January 1st is what materials you can recycle. We did shoot a very short YouTube video today that will be posted later in the week about recycling. I just want to remind everybody that the only materials that will be able to be recycled are aluminum and tin, plastics number 1 and number 2, cardboard, mixed paper. No longer will you be able to recycle glass, and plastics 3 through 7 won't be recyclable, and also plastic bags won't be recyclable any longer. Lastly, I just wanted to let you know that there are postcards that were mailed out today. They were supposed to be mailed out a little earlier. Unfortunately, we had some various issues, but they will be mailed out today. The postcards will ask you if you want to select your own size of automated trash container. Just as a reminder, automated trash collection will begin on April 1st, with cans being delivered in the first 2 to 3 weeks of March. You have 3 choices for automated container size: 35-gallon, 65-gallon, or 95-gallon. If you do not return a card, you'll be get the largest bin, which is the 95-gallon. And beginning May 1st, you will be able to purchase additional containers if you need those. So just want to remind everybody of the new contract. Have a happy holiday and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn to the approval of the minutes. Mr. McLean.
Thank you. First item is regular council meeting of November 12, 2018. I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of November 12, 2018.
Second. There's a motion, a second, that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of November 12, 2018. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mowry.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is public hearing, application 2018-049, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC. I move that we approve the public hearing minutes of November 27, 2018, application 2018-0749, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC rezoning.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the public hearing minutes of November 27, 2018. Application number 2018-0749, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC rezoning. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Counsel Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mowry.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Special meeting of November 27, 2018. I move that we approve the special meeting minutes of November 27, 2018, application 2018-0749, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC rezoning.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the special meeting minutes of November 27, 2018. Application number 2018-0749, Dream Greener Lawn and Landscape LLC rezoning. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mowry.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Counsel Magno.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Can we turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls? And Mr. McLean.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 121018 in the amount of $1,545,836.80.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 121018 in the amount of $1,545,836.80. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Mowry.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Counsel Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to residents' comment section for non-agenda items. Mr. Failer, you've signed up to speak. We have a 3-minute limit. At the end of 2 minutes, we'll signify to ask you to conclude your comments.
Okay. Rich Baller, 1119 Logan Road. Back again to bring up the flooding over there on Logan. I was wondering if there's any update on any plans. It's been 6 months, almost 6 months since the flooding. I know you guys have increased some taxes on it, and I was just wondering if there's any plans that were put out yet or that you've put together.
It's usually just a public comment section, but I will tell you that the staff is working on some MS4 plans on several projects that will occur probably within the next 1 to 2 years. So we'll be announcing that shortly.
Okay, because the wet season is going to be 5-6 months away, and it's going to happen again and again and again until we get this thing resolved. Okay, I guess that's it.
Thank you very much. Mr. O'Brien.
Rich, I went and got the file that all the information you requested, and there's a lot of issues back from 1968. There's a lot of things in here that I see. I haven't gone through all of it yet that I was part of trying to resolve the issues down there, and we're working within the parameters that we have established at this time. There was a swale on the property, and I'm not sure when it went in and how it went in and why it was taken out. And also, you and I had a discussion a while back about getting us some video and some pictures of the event because we have new eyes with Stacy here. If you can get those videos to me or pictures to Stacy so we can have a new set of eyes. I can't guarantee anything, but I'm working hard to try and find some relief to try and look and see if there's what we can or cannot do. Okay? Thank you, Rich.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Hearing none, this is the Jim McLean show we're going to next. We'll turn to general policy and finance, and we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did notice that this is a very unbalanced agenda tonight. There seem to be no items under anybody's agenda except mine.
And he has 20.
First item, ordinance number 12-10-18A, garbage and rubbish ordinance amendment. I move that we approve an ordinance in Municipality of Bethel Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending ordinance 5-11-92A, the official Municipality of Bethel Park Code, Chapter 39, by amending the section regarding regulation of haulers.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the ordinance of the Municipality of Bethel Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending ordinance 5-11-92A, the official Municipality of Bethel Park Code, Chapter 39, by amending the section regarding regulations of haulers. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is ordinance number 12-10-18B, salary ordinance. I move that we approve an ordinance amending section 12.2.1 of ordinance number 7-12-93A, the official Municipality of Bethel Park Code, by providing wages for management, supervisory, and other confidential employees.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance amending section 12.2.1 of the ordinance number 7-12-93A, the official Municipality of Bethel Park Code, by providing wages for management, supervisory, and other confidential employees. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment, Civil Service Commission. I move that we reappoint Terry Capristo to the Civil Service Commission for a term to expire on December 31st, 2021.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we reappoint Terry Capristo to the Civil Service Commission for a term to expire December 31st, 2021. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment, Municipal Authority. I move that we reappoint Daniel Chebarenchik to the Municipal Authority for a term to expire on December 31, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second by Mr. O'Brien that we reappoint Daniel Chebarenchik to the Municipal Authority for a term to expire December 31st, 2023. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment, Board of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services. I move that we reappoint Jim Gaskeb to the Board of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services for a term to expire on December 31st, 2021.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we reappoint Jim Gaskeb to the Bethel Parks Recreation and Leisure Services for a term to expire December 31st, 2021. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean, you thought I was kidding. You did have 20 items on here. Mr.
Next
McLean.
item is reappointment to Board of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services. I move that we reappoint Donna Marie Murphy to the Board of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services for a term to expire on December 31st, 2021.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to reappoint Donna Marie Murphy to the Board of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services for a term to expire on December 31st, 2021. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is reappointment, Planning and Zoning Commission. I move that we reappoint Peter E. Grandillo to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a term to expire on December 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to reappoint Peter E. Grandillo to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a term to expire December 31st, 2022. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Approval of retirement. I move that we approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Sergeant Edward V. Koch with an effective date of December 31, 2018, in accordance with Ordinance 08-10-09.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the drop pension retirement election of Sergeant Edward Koch with an effective date of December 31st, 2018, in accordance with the ordinance number 8-10-09. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is approval of retirement. I move that we approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Officer Frank L. Marks with an effective date of December 31, 2018, in accordance with Ordinance 08-10-09.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the drop pension retirement election of Police Officer Frank L. Marks with an effective date December 31st, 2018, in accordance with the ordinance number 08-10-09. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is appointment of police officer. I move that we hire Andrew Jacobs as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated December 6, 2018.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We hire Andrew Jacobs as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated December 6th, 2018. Any discussion on this item? I just want to recognize Mr. Denson. He is the Civil Service Commission Chair, and this actual process started back in August. There's a testing process and a number of different steps that brought us to this point tonight that we're going to be hiring a few officers. We would like to thank Mr. Denson and the Civil Service Commission for everything they've done to help us get to this point. Also, the chief and the department for going through the background and providing us a good list. Any other discussion? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
O'Brien.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is appointment police officer. I move that we hire Matthew Carnes as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated December 6, 2018.
There's a motion and a second that we hire Matthew Kearns as a police officer for the Bethel Park Police Department in accordance with Chief O'Connor's correspondence dated December 6, 2018. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Arbaugh, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Are you done yet?
I am. There are no further items on the agenda under General Policy and
additional
Finance.
Mr. Maury,
Mr. Harrison.
I initiated a call today to Nora Helfrich. She's the director of the Tri-Community EMS. I did that because I'm aware that over the past few years, the number of people that sign up for the EMS service has decreased. And although it's not December 31st yet, the indication says it's going to decrease again this year. And I just wanted to speak to that to say that I think that certainly the people I communicate with think we have an excellent EMS service, and we ought to do everything we can to make sure it's maintained. And one of the things we can do is to sign up as a member, and it has a lot of perks that I won't go into. But in any case, I think people ought to be aware that they rely on the people signing up, the amount they pay to become members of the service. And when fewer people sign up, there's less money to provide the service. And then there's one other aspect that I learned by talking to her today, and that is the people who are pursuing the training to be employees of EMS services, and that's just not our service, but it's in all the communities. They're just not available. It's very difficult to find applicants when you have a vacancy. So I thought I'd mention that and say if anybody out there in Bethel Park land or anyone that's hearing us know of people that would be interested in that type of service, it's almost a guaranteed employment. She tells me it's just very difficult to get applicants. So I would suggest if you have any interest in that type activity, you ought to you can check with Nora. She can tell you, you obviously have to get some certification before you can get a job, but she said that there's plenty of vacancies available for people who care to get trained. So I just hope that people will sign on to the EMS service so it can be maintained at the level we have it now. And if fewer and fewer people don't sign on, then there's less money. And just a thing that I spoke to for a different reason, but the demographics are such that the population of Bethel Park's getting older. And as the population gets older, that element of our society needs more services. So just please support the EMS service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Any additional items?
Mr. Murray,
Mr. Consul Magno.
it's nice following some positive remarks from Mr. Harrison, and I'd just like to continue on with that. This time of year, we just hired 2 police officers to our department, but last year, I tried to bring some light to the positive appreciation for our Bethel Park Police, and I want to continue doing that this year. So this blue light symbolizes the law enforcement, and if the residents can continue in building upon this like we did last year, after, of course, Christmas through January 3rd is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and if everyone could shine a blue light in their home and showing our solid support of our law enforcement, not only in Bethel Park, but throughout the country. Andy Amheim down at EV True Value Hardware has the lights for sale. I think they're $5 each, but just a little bit show of support for our community, for the police department would go a long way, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Harrison.
I just thought I'd point out that to show support for the police, there's some people like me that have the moonlights shining 365 days a year. So if you get one of them and you care to, you can put a timer on it and have it shining every day of the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Can we turn to planning and zoning? We have no residents signed up to speak, and Mr. Dixon.
Mr. Mowry, I have absolutely no items under planning and zoning this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare, and Mr. O'Brien?
Mr. Meyer, there are no items under health, safety, and welfare.
Are there any additional items?
I have
Mr.
one.
McLean took them all, I think.
Mr. O'Brien.
Over the weekend, I ran into one of our avid TV watchers, Mr. Ed Gossa from Upper St. Clair. He never misses our council meeting on television. He may be watching tonight. He said that he had a Christmas present for the mayor and each council members. It was 1 dozen of extra large grade A eggs. And he was very excited to tell me that. And he said, keep up the good work and Merry Christmas. Also, at this time of the year, it can be very difficult for people. In the events, the tragic events of the Tree of Life, it touches us all, especially the officers. Many of the people have gone home from the hospital and are trying to put their lives back together. There's still one of the police officers. He's still in the hospital, and the road ahead for him is long, although it's a very positive road, but it's still long. If you see it in your hearts, I talked to the chief and got the address off of the chief to send contributions or into the Greater Pittsburgh Police FCU Fund, Inquiring Officers Fund, mailed to Greater Pittsburgh FCU 1338 Chartiers Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA 15220. I understand he is the officer still in the hospital. Is just an outstanding a man, an officer, a family man, and anything we can do to help out, I think, would be great. And in this, any time, and especially at this time. So thank you, Mr. Murray.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Mr. McLean?
I am happy to report there are no items on the agenda under Public Works and Maintenance.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Any additional items?
Mr. Murray?
Mr. Consul Magno.
I would just like to mention, back in August, one of our residents, Scott Bainan, who has a service station up on 88, passed away unexpectedly. And a group of us got together, and we have the Scott Payne Memorial Scholarship fundraiser that will take place this Sunday down at the Library Fire Hall. It's a fundraiser for the Steelers, which Scott was just so enthralled with. Maybe not this past Sunday, but in the past. But it's a fundraiser to raise funds for a scholarship for a Bethel Park graduate that is interested in going into the automotive technology business. And we're trying to raise enough funds so it could be a scholarship for someone years to come. So that's Sunday, December 16th. Time is from 3 to whenever the game's over. Tickets are available at the Bain and Service Center, or again at Andy's True Value Hardware. We have over 30 baskets that people have donated for a Chinese auction. So if you want to get some real nice gifts for Christmas, it's a great opportunity to do that and watch the game with some of Scott's friends and enjoy just a nice afternoon. And hopefully the Steelers will pull a win off for Scott. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Constantine.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. O'Brien.
What a great way to remember a man who did so much for so many. I couldn't think of a better way. So I encourage people to go out so we can establish this fund to benefit our children studying the trades. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Any additional items?
President.
Mr. Dixon.
You know, it was great to see the Dethorns honored for their altruistic celebration on Thanksgiving. One thing that went unsaid, though, is that the food there is fantastic. My wife and I discovered your restaurant several weeks ago, and it's quickly become one of our favorite places. So I would encourage everybody to give it a try. Ma and Pop's restaurant is just fantastic food. So.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to adjourn? Second?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Hi, I'm Sean Arbaugh, Municipal Manager of the Municipality of Bethel Park, and I'm just here to talk today a little bit about the recycling changes that are going to be starting effective January 1st, 2019. As you may know, we have a new contract with Waste Management. They will be taking over for Republic Services that will start on January 1st. One of the good things, there aren't going to be a whole lot of changes with the days of recycling. It's mostly going to stay the same. There will be a postcard coming around next week explaining some of those changes. But today I just want to talk a little bit about some of the major changes we're going to see with what items can and cannot be recycled. So the new contract, due to a nationwide issue with contamination and recycling, the 19 municipalities that make up the SHACOG Alliance will be changing what can be recycled and what cannot be recycled. The only things that will be able to be recycled are going to be plastic types 1 PET, plastics type 2 HDPE, clean aluminum and tin cans, cardboard, newspaper, and mixed paper. So that's all that's going to be able to be recycled, and we've gotten a lot of questions on why these changes are taking effect, and we do have some more information available at our website, www.bethelpark.net, that you can check out and see some of those. Today I'd just like to touch on how do you distinguish what type of plastics are type 1 and type 2. So I have some common items here that
that people have. So we have a coffee can, and simply you can just turn it over, and usually on the very bottom there's going to be a little triangle, and with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 in it. The plastics that are able to be recycled are going to be types 1 and 2. So for example, this coffee can has a triangle on the bottom with the number 2. Some other common items, Clorox wipes. We again flip it over and we can see the triangle on the back, again with the number 2 inside of that triangle. Dawn dish soap, kind of the same thing. You look on the bottom. This one has a 1 in the triangle, so that is also a recyclable item. Soft soap, antibacterial hand soap. This also has a triangle with the 1 on the bottom, so that is a recyclable item. Typical water bottle, same thing, the triangle on the bottom. This one also has a number 1. So all these are recyclable items still that can be put out with the recycling. The recycling container is not going to change, so if you currently have the black or the orange crate, you're going to continue to use that. If you have a trash can that you use, an old one that has a recycling sticker, you're going to be able to continue to use that for recyclables. Unfortunately, glass will no longer be able to be recycled. Also, types 3 through 7 plastics are no longer able to be recycled. Unfortunately, municipality will be fined if recyclables are contaminated. So if there are glass put in the recycling, after so many times, the municipality will actually receive a penalty from Waste Management for contamination. So please work with us, and we're going to be doing some other, put some other information out over the next year to really educate the residents. And if you have any questions, feel free to call in here, our office, or check out our website. Thank you.